Hello everyone and welcome to the Utah Beach edition of Mark's English History channel in Normandy. I say we're on Utah Beach now, the second American beach after Omaha, and the one that's so pivotal into why the airborne landings needed to take place. So before we actually go down onto the beach, I'm just going to go up onto the dune and have a look there. So please bear with me, this will probably be my shortest episode because I've only got about 8 minutes left on my SD card and I've still got plenty of places to visit, so a visit to a shop soon to pick up another one will be needed. So I've just driven down a large section of the coast of Utah Beach. I stopped off at the de Klerk Memorial for the three French forces that landed here a few kilometres up the road, and hopefully from up here, is why I came up here, would be a good shot, because not only do you get a nice sweeping view of the Panoramic Beach and across through the bay, you can see the cliffs there, but there's probably their lounge just in there, hello Point de Hoc, it's Point de Hoc, isn't it, and then see Omaha a bit further around. The other reason why I came up here and what I noticed whilst I was driving along is from the nice monument there to the American Navy that was involved in the landings. From up here, what I noticed when I was driving along is just how flat and low-lying the countryside is behind the initial dune that's in front of the beach. This was what Rommel flooded as part of the defences of the Atlantic War, and why the airborne landings at San Margaritas was so pivotal in the outcome of D-Day, because with all that land flooded in behind, there was only a certain number of causeways that the infantry and the armour could penetrate up. Obviously one of the exit ways for the bridges in front of us here. And so as a result, the German artillery could have had it zeroed in quite well, and it could have either been the easiest beach for the Germans to lock off and defend. But because the airborne invasion and the airborne landings happened, they were able to secure these pivotal causeways, which allowed the armour and the infantry that would land here at Utah. And it's kind of one of the forgotten beaches in many aspects, in especially in the American sector, Omaha and the airborne side takes almost precedent, and yet this one is just as important, because obviously it's the army, the forces that land here, cut off a Constantine and then drive up to Cherbourg and capture that first initial port. Actually, you can see here there is some of the original barbed wire still in place by the look of it. And then you come back through here and there's another memorial back here as well, so there is quite a lot of stuff going on here. So you can't really see much of the beach from here, unfortunately, but there's looks like a captured gun, and on the drive up as well as seeing out on the landward side the low-lying flats, you can also see some of the pillboxes still there. So like I say, they were able to then capture Cherbourg, which was the first major port to fall, and was one of the reasons also why Normandy was chosen. It's certainly one of the reasons why further than that, and also by adding in sword and Utah, they were able to directly aim at those two missions, directly aimed at the port's infrastructure that he wanted to capture in Caen and Cherbourg. But so you can see, like I say, from here, tide is about middle at the moment, so you can see just how wide the beach it was. At low tide it went further out still, so you can see Okay, so as we come down off the dune now and actually head out towards the beach, we walked past it as we began the episode, but there is actually the Higgins Boat Memorial here, so it's a beached Higgins infantry landing craft vessel with some troops coming out of it, which was what they landed, which like the Americans landed on anyway. British would have landed on, if not there was something very similar. Up there is the Utah Beach Museum. It is open, but I've been to so many at the moment. The last few days they've all blurred into one, so I think it's that one can be given a miss, to be honest. They're all telling the same story if you've been around quite a few. Certainly, like for example, museums around these places like that, you soon start realising that the stories tend to retell themselves after a bit. That there's only so much they can say. I think that if you're asking me for a favourite, I think definitely do the Overlord Museum. That's at Coulterville. That one gives you a really good, nice overview. The Airborne Museum at St Mary Glees was good as well. Then depending upon what else you like, I certainly think if you're bringing kids out, the D-Day experience where you go in a flight simulator on a 40C-47 as an American airborne troop is quite good as well. And then there's lots of little small museums as well. So again, depends what your interests are and how much information you want to take in and what you want to see and feel. Okay, so I'm out on the beach now, so I'm going to put you around and you can have a look. There we go, you can see it's a nice, very shallow beach, nice sand. In comparison to the sand that we had at Juneau, it's very it's very flat. That area would be quite fairly easy to cross, and then you're straight up into a single sand dune at the back of the beach. So it's not the ultra layer system that levels of dunes and bluffs that they would fall up at Omaha, for example. It's not the soft sand of Juneau. It's kind of a bit potato like some gold, if anything. But yeah, you're looking across there and Point the Hock over in that direction. I imagine I can't see anything high enough to be Point the Hock from here, looking across there, other than those sort of cliff places there. And then obviously as it would turn Omaha around and then out towards Longitude in that direction. In case you've seen the episode I also filmed actually earlier today, but it will be going out differently, about the history of the Norman town of Barfleur. That is right up on that sort of headland as it's kicking out. I'm not sure if there's a couple of bits of the Mulberry Harbour from Omaha out there. I thought that all got destroyed in the storm, but they may have towed them out and put them out here. There certainly wasn't a mulberry in this direction. Main theory being that once this was cool, captured, that Cherbourg will fall fairly quickly.